If you are an empath, this video is for you. If you are an empath who feel like you are too nice, and oftentimes you get stepped on and you get kind of like how you say, cast aside, looked over, stomped on, stuff like that. People don't take you seriously and you feel like drained all the time. This video is for you because I want to break down to you why that is, what's actually happening, and how you can fix this once and for all. So actually, what's happening is that empaths are very sensitive being where they can feel into something very slight, like someone's change of mood, someone's tonality. They're constantly, okay, they're radars. It's like they have so many radars. So they're constantly reading the room and managing people's emotions. And sometimes because of that, like you just feel overwhelmed and then you just feel like, okay, now I need to change myself to fit into the room, because now you're feeling this like overwhelming sense of people's energy kind of like washing over you, and that's actually when you lose your true stand, your true authentic self. So that makes you being too nice because you're so empathetic to people's pain and suffering and you don't want to upset them. So when you think of that, you think of you as the nice girl, as the nice guy, but it's actually not like that. What's actually happening is that you're not nice, you are just afraid. Okay? Stay with me. You're just afraid of being who you are because once upon a time, you were told being you is not good enough. Being who you are as you are, this can happen in childhood, maybe a parent or a caretaker or someone told you. Being who you are, having the emotions you have, expressing yourself, telling your needs, expressing what your needs are, your dreams and aspiration and your emotion, displaying them, is not okay. It's not good. It's not good enough. Something along those lines. So what happened is that you have learned to suppress it. You have learned to manage your own emotions and your own expression. That's why most empaths have a throat chakra blockage and also a visibility wound, because being seen means they're going to get bullied, they're going to get harmed, something bad's going to happen, okay? Some kind of abuse, psychological abuse, verbal abuse, even physical, sometimes even sexual abuse. So a lot of empaths who had traumatic upbringing, they learn to hide themselves and they just trying to be complacent and being that nice girl, nice guy. But actually what's happening is that they're afraid. They're afraid of being harmed. They're afraid of the pain or the potential abuses and the trauma that could happen when they step into the spotlight. Same with the throat chakra thing. You're afraid to speak up. Like for me, what happened was when I was younger, I was really, beaten down kind of physically by a caretaker again and again and again. And when I expressed my pain and that I'm hurting, and they're like, well, this is pain? How about now? How about now? How about now? Are you still crying? Is it still painful? So what happened to me was I learned to mute my voice. I learned to mute my emotions, and I knew that if I speak up about how I really feel, especially when I'm hurting, it actually means more pain. So my inner child, my younger child, has learned that. So I learned to quiet. I learned to mute. I learned to put up with the pain and the suffering and understand somehow in the mind that suffering and pain and abuse is normal, is expected actually. So I learned to expect that. So what happened is that I just, whenever, if you've gone through something like that, when you grow up and have certain interaction and relationship with people, you actually learn that abuses are normal. When people mistreat you, well, it's to be expected, and it's not really that big of a deal. It's not like they kill you or anything, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like your sense of what's okay is very messed up. Your sense of normalcy is actually very messed up. So it makes you a more tolerable person, hence the niceness, okay? Because you don't see a problem, so why are you acting up? You're not acting up, right? They're only yelling at you. They're only calling you all these terrible names. It's nothing bad. Is it making sense? Okay, does that feel resonant to some of you? Because what happened is that because some of us as empaths, we were mistreated, we were called names, we were undergoing abuses. So that's why it becomes familiar. It becomes so familiar. What was up in your family becomes familiar to you now. So you don't have that sense of something's wrong. So you don't act up. So it seems like you're nice and you're cool, but actually you just have a messed up sense of what is okay and what is not okay. So there's two reasons. One is you being the nice girl, nice guy as an empath is because you're afraid. You're afraid to upset someone because that means if you speak up, if you speak your truth, if you be seen, it means harm, it means abuse, it means suffering. And all of that, it doesn't mean that you are actually getting hurt. It means that you are still operating as your wounded younger self that thinks that they are dependent on that abuser, but you're not, you're free now, you're an adult, okay? So it's like you're operating from that younger self that still is on survival mode, looking out, walking on eggshells, walking on landmines, looking out. So you play this nice girl to avoid all of these mistreatments. But if you experience this, you will know it doesn't work. People who want to hurt you, they will, okay? Why? It's not about other people, by the way. It's about what you expect to happen. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So you expect to be treated badly, even when there's nothing, signals that your inner world already expect that, so it will happen. You're manifesting it. Remember, manifestation is not some cool technique that you do. You're constantly manifesting every time because you're constantly projecting something out. You're constantly having inner dialogue and inner feeling about yourself, other people, and your world. Okay? Watch my other videos on manifestations to understand how this really works, because only based on the 3 principles that I just talked to you about. Manifestation, what do you think of yourself? Okay, what do you believe to be true of yourself? What do you believe to be true of other people? What do you believe to be true of your world? These 3 things are going to shape your reality. Number 2. And the number 2 way is not your being afraid. That's why you play the nice girl, nice boy, is that you have no sense of what is okay. You have no sense of what is mistreatment. So maybe, you've gone through certain physical abuses. So maybe you're going through a relationship now or interacting with someone, they're just putting their hand on you, or they're just, doing something, they push you kind of slightly, and this is really not okay. But in your head, you're like, well, they're not like punching me or anything, they're not beating, they're not giving me a black eye or anything, so just being pushed around, So actually that makes you a victim without even knowing it. So this is actually kind of very dangerous. And this is something that actually I had to learn to get out of, that what is okay and what is not okay treatment. Because maybe when you were young, you were told that you're seen and not heard. So you're always the quiet one. You're always the one that stays quiet while everyone else talking. And when you open up, they interrupt you and they talk over you like you don't exist. And what happened to me is that because I learned that when I was growing up, people always interrupted me. People always talked over me. And when I'm in a conversation with someone, they'll talk like 99%. And I'll be the one who say something for 1%. And even that, they don't even give me a real response. And they just look at like the sky and pretend like they didn't hear what I just said. And all of that, it's not like we're here to take accountability for what we can change. So maybe it's easy to say, F this person, F that person, but it's because these people are operating based on what we perceive to be true, what we believe to be true of how the world acts, how the world is, how other people act around us based on what's the familiar subconscious programming. That's keep on running, okay? Because subconscious is the 95% of the programming that's happening, and that's on automatic. And that's the programming that allows you to drive a car, to walk outside, because you're not thinking like 1 foot, the other foot, okay? 1 foot, the other foot. Put hand on steering wheel, look this way, you don't think like that, right? It's all automatic. So the subconscious mind is actually where your majority of your programming is. So that's why it's really dangerous when you don't have a hold, when you don't know how to retrain yourself, because you're operating as the wounded self. And that will get you in this category of the nice girl, the nice guy, and the pushover, and the one that gets abused and stomped on and being treated unfairly. So what happens is that sometimes you can get really annoyed and irritated, and you say F the world, F the world, F the world, right? But it's not F the world. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's just going to fuel your hatred, okay? And victimizing yourself. That's not empowerment. What's empowerment is realizing that you're creating this. Until you are willing to sit down and listen and hear yourself, getting to the point that I create this mess. I create this mess based on not being in control of my inner world, my inner mind. So that's why we need to go through spiritual awakening, alignment, right? That's why we do the healing work. That's why we do the inner child healing work, right? If you're in my community, if you're in my coaching program, we always focus on the inner healing work, because 99%, I would say, most of your problems in this lifetime, especially when it comes to relationship, it comes from your childhood wound. It comes from what happened to you that you have never healed, that you have never wrapped your head around, you never come to terms with, you never made peace with. You never understood what the lesson is. You don't see clearly why it happened to you on a grand scale. That's why it happens. So that's why it's very important for you to peel back, okay, and look at things from a higher perspective, looking at things from your higher self, who would look at that thing, not from your young little wounded self, because your wounded self will always say, I don't deserve that. The world's a terrible place, because it's like in this mode, right? It's in this hiding mode, like afraid, right? It makes itself small. So I need you to stop walking around the world with that wounded child. Enough is enough, okay? But again, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. But what I have found in my own personal healing and what I work with my clients on is allowing them to kind of really step back and realize, I'm an adult now. What happened to me? And, for the first time, and where I am now, there's been some years. So what that means is that if I'm still walking around being afraid of being reprimanded, being afraid of, someone's going to yell at me, someone's going to do something to me, like what my mom did, what my dad did, what my caretaker did, what that person did. You're not operating from your adult mind. You're not operating from your smart, intelligent, wise adult self. But you're operating from the younger you who had to operate on survival instincts, okay, to navigate the world, because you're always so fearful. And this leads to a lot of issues, health issues, okay, because you're hyper vigilant all the time, money issues, because you have scarcity mindset and you have a mindset that you're not worthy. Money and good things, abundance is tied to your worthiness, right? This is why inside my Divine Feminine Activation membership, we really drill it down into the worthiness. And that's what I realized. Until I feel worthy for simply existing, I'm not going to get the abundance, okay, that I really truly deserve, because God the Creator created us in perfection, like this image. And God the Creator didn't say you're not worthy, you have to earn your worthiness. No, we are worthy, every one of us, okay? The sons and daughters of the Most High, sons of the daughter of the universe, the God Creator, okay? We are so worthy to be here. We live in an abundant world. We live in a world that there's so much love. But because we're so focused on the fear, we're so focused on other people, okay, these group of people hurting us, that we overlook that, oh my gosh, there are amazing people in this world who are so excited to be loving you up. They're so excited to give you a hug. They're so excited to be like, wow, you're so smart, you're so wise, and I love you for just being you. There are so many people like that. But until you wake the F up, until you realize where your focus of attention is actually creating your reality, okay, law of attraction, where you focus on expands. When you stop focusing on the people, where you call them the other people, F the other people, okay, when you stop focusing on that so much, you realize that, wow, I can actually focus on the other people who are positive, who are in their healing, they want to do good things in this world. They want to treat me with deep love and respect. You will start having better relationship. You will start having better friendship. You will start having just better experiences in this world, and you don't have to alter yourself to be loved. So that's why authenticity, the ability to be who you are at any given time, is the key to your soul freedom. I made a couple videos about it. Make sure you watch them down below in my Empath series and my Starseed Struggle series. Is for you to awaken to when you actually in your authentic self, what that signal is that I feel safe to be me. I am good enough as I am. I am worthy to just simply effing exist. And until you're at that point, you're always going to feel like you have to be a circus monkey. You always have to be like, oh, you like it when I dress this way? Okay, I dress this way for you, okay? Not for me, who cares what I like? It's about what you like, Or like, oh, you don't like it when I speak so loud? Well, I'm going to speak more quiet for you so that you can accept me, because I'm a nice and I'm a good person, and a nice and a good person gets treated well, right? Gets loved, right? No, they don't. They get stepped on, okay? So this is not about being an asshole. It's being your true self, because your people will love you as you effing are. Like my YouTube community, they love me for who I am, okay? My best friend, who I talk about everything under the moon and the sun, like cackle with, ha 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 ha, like have my crazy laugh with, and have my silly like craving, oh, let's go for bubble tea or whatever. Like, she loves me for exactly who I am, not because someone I'm trying to be. So remember that the people who are meant to love you for realsies in this life, they love you for exactly who you are. Your weirdness, your cackles, the way you giggle at something that's not even funny, the way you tell your lame jokes, the way that it's just the way you are. And those are the people you want to be around with anyway, okay? So stop faking, stop being a circus monkey, stop selling your soul away to fit in. You will never fit in, and you don't want to fit in, because this world it's crazy, it's insanity, okay? And what I mean by that is that most people are not awakened to the truth that we are literally being programmed all the time. Our mind is being bombarded by conditionings all the time, telling us that we're not free. We need to buy this, we need to do this, we need to be this, we need to that, But until we realize, oh my gosh, I better get on with my healing path, okay? I better, take some time to tune out the noise and being my best true authentic self. I better learn that fear is not real. Until you get there, your life is gonna be quite chaotic. Because why? You won't feel like you're in control. You won't feel that you have the power, because you're so used to give people power to your validation, your worthiness, who you are. So I want you to take it back, okay? Do this to me. Take it back, take it back, take it back, okay? Imagine the key that you gave so freely to people. Take it back, take it back, take it back. Take your power back. Say this with me. I take my power back now. I reclaim all my power back now. I call back all my power back now. Say it with me. Repeat this. Comment it down below. Declare this. Until you take that power back from every single person, every single circumstance, every single place, you cannot operate in your wholeness, and you won't know your real power, and you're going to be that puppet that gets pulled away, okay? And you're going to be smiling, doing all of that, because you think that it's going to give you love. But love is not earned. Remember that. Love is not earned. Say this with me. Love is not earned. Love is. Love is. Love is who you are. You are made of pure love. That God essence with you is love. real, true, pure, unconditional love. Until you love yourself that way, you're going to be operating in illusions. Okay, my love? I want to hear what come through for you down below. And I want you to reclaim your power back. It's all time, babe. It's all time. This is Tina Wong. I love you so much.